All right, let's head over to South Carolina, where South Carolina lawmakers are weighing more restrictions on hemp products. One option, ban them entirely. Julie Kay is here in studio covering all things politics. You're covering the story for us today, Julie. So you got the chance to speak with lawmakers and a pharmacist, right?
Yeah, just to get some context on what these restrictions would do. South Carolina's in a really interesting spot where they don't, at the state level, regulate THC products at all. Of course, there's still regulations through different counties, and of course, there's federal regulations on what's able to be sold in the U.S., but the state doesn't have any, and so they're kind of in this moment of, we need to get this done fast, because we've been pushing this off for a while. These products are gaining popularity. Specifically, the most discussed bill, both in general and on the Senate floor, is one that would focus specifically on THC-infused consumables like gummies, or you've seen those THC drinks all over North Carolina. Those are getting really popular, and some of them are getting sold in like grocery stores. And so that bill would, first of all, you'd have to prove you're 21 years old to purchase it, and then they would restrict some of the stronger ones to be sold at actually liquor stores as opposed to grocery stores. So it would limit where they're able to be sold, who's able to buy them. But another bill that's gained a little bit less traction, but is still a part of the conversation and a part of why this is kind of taking so long, is because there's disagreements about how far to go. Another bill would ban these products pretty much entirely across the state, which is a big jump to make. But of course, people are concerned then at that point about medical cannabis, medical marijuana. Of course, marijuana across the board is illegal in South Carolina, but THC and those kind of products for medical uses is kind of what I focused on, because any sort of restrictions, people get anxious about something that they use for pain management, as opposed to some really intense medicines. So I spoke with a pharmacist out of Rock Hill who sells some of these CBD THC products. Of course, he goes by federal regulations, and he of course also speaks with doctors that, the doctors of these patients, to make sure they're not prescribing anything that's going to conflict with these substances. But he said, I'm not opposed to regulation. I would like to see some protection for medical uses, because that it isn't in the law. There is nothing protecting medical usage right now. And so even if this more limited bill was to get passed, there's nothing in it to say that they couldn't go that far in the future.
Interesting conversation, because it's totally different in North Carolina. Obviously, we're covering two states here in our area. It's just.
And who's to say someone's not going to drive over the border in Rock Hill and come by them here, because it's so close. So there's that element of it too.
Or even if you live much further away. I mean, who would, there are folks who would drive 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah. People who rely on it for pain management, absolutely.
Julie, when can folks catch the story tonight?
5 o'clock.
Covering all things politics. Julie Kay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.